and welcome back to my channel. In today's video we are gonna do a reading vlog. Basically, I have been in love with paranormal books for quite some time, especially paranormal romance books. However, I missed quite a few big ones when I fell out of love with it for a bit. I figured I might as well make a video documenting kind of what I remember knowing about these books and what I feel about them along the way, especially since they were super popular at the time. And maybe I'll find a new favorite along the way. So I figured I would start this project with a book that I kind of have somewhat of an idea about, and that is Dead Until Dark by Charlene Harris. This is the first book in the Sookie Stackhouse series, which is the series that the show True Blood was based on. And I never watched the show True Blood, but I think this is a Southern murder vampire series. And that's really all I know. I think it takes place in Louisiana because I think I saw one ad where they had like super southerny voices and mentioned Louisiana. I could be completely wrong, but I missed out on a lot of vampire media and I want to get caught up. So basically this is going to be a super spoilerly vlog of me reading the first book in the Sookie Stackhouse series. So let's get started. So I'm not very far, but I would like to add a few things that I hadn't mentioned when I was doing my like little important like info bit, and that was how hard it was to get a copy of Dead Until Dark. So this is the first book in the series, but I basically had to get an e-copy of it from my library or buy my own copy from it, or buy my own copy of it because my library doesn't have it in circulation anymore. And I thought that was very interesting because of how like important this book was for paranormal romance. Lily is so into this right now. But basically I was very interested because I know so many people still talk about True Blood, which is the show that this one influenced. So it's interesting to me that it's not in circulation anymore. I did have to go on hold to even be able to film this like video idea. So I'm interested in seeing how this book is, and if my library even has like later books. I've reached my first break before a chapter break, and I looked and saw how long the chapters are. So I figured I would just go ahead and tell you how I'm feeling so far, and then also tell you some other stuff. I am overall enjoying it so far. I don't know of any vampires named Bill. My knowledge of this series is still zilch. However, I will say that I'm older than her, so I've got that going for me. However, I will say I find it very interesting, and it could just be the paranormal romance genre as a whole, but the whole coming out of the coffin joke at like the start, it always gets me. I always chuckle a little. I always find it funny, but it's like a consistent thing. Lily's tired of it, but it's always a consistent thing. I'm interested though in continuing on, so we at least have that going for us. I do find the whole vampire's blood having power thing to be an interesting like choice, and it definitely can drive a series. I definitely think that's a good decision to have. So I am 12% in, and it's still chapter 1, which is very weird to me because there have definitely been breaks where we could have changed the chapter, but we haven't. But besides that, it's pretty formulaic. I'm not understanding how this like took off. However, again, I'm only on chapter 1. So nothing really is happening except there is the people who tried to drain the mysterious vampire have attacked the day the mysterious vampire shows back up. Shocker. I'm not at all surprised. I'm enjoying it, yes, but I'm not at all surprised. You know? I'm looking forward to chapter 2 and continuing on. We'll keep you posted. I would like to take a moment to say that I had a out-of-body experience because the vampire character shops at Dillards, and the grandma was like, "This is such a normal place to shop." And I was like, you know what? This book is a little old now because I don't even know where a Dillards is anymore. Are they in business anymore? We'll let you know next update. I just would like to come back and say that I apologize to Dillards personally. I realized that I just moved too far north and that the Dillards that I used to frequent as a child was actually the East Coast flag store for Dillards. And I would like to formally apologize to Dillards if I offended them for thinking they went under like everything else from the time frame of this book. Okay, actually back to reading and not looking up Dillards. Okay guys, I'm gonna be real with you. It's been a bit since I've updated, and I've read better vampire books, and I've read better mystery books, and I've read better vampire mystery books. I'm a little bummed that I picked this one as like the start because of how I was feeling about it, because I don't recognize any characters' names from like shows, like the show, or any knowledge that I have of it, which means that all of the characters that I assumed were part of this and Vampire Diaries are all Vampire Diaries characters except for Sookie. Apparently the only character that I was attributing to both shows being the same show was Sookie, and she's the only character that I have recognized. I've met Eric at this point. I don't know anything as to why I'm doing this, because it's just kind of, it's just okay. I don't know how else to explain it. It's just okay. Like, there's nothing like wrong with it inherently. Like, chapters would be nice. There's only 12 chapters in the whole book. Like, who made that decision? So overall, I'm still enjoying it. So we'll update when book is finished. Okay, so I have finished my first ever Charlene Harris and my first ever Sookie Stackhouse book. I'm still not sure what I'm going to rate it. It's either going to be a 2 or a 3. I will leave the rating that I finalized somewhere here, but you can find it out in my wrap up. I, overall, will stick with my comments that I was making, I think in my last update, because I just wanted to power through it. Basically, to summarize, my main issues that I had with this book basically were the fact that it's not a super unique vampire story that I haven't read before at this point, which isn't to say that it wasn't at the time. It's just I've read vampire plots like this before. I mean, I think it's really interesting that the concept of synthetic blood is the reason the TV show is called True Blood. However, it obviously isn't connected to the fact that this is a murder mystery story. But my main problem with this is it's very formulaic and the characters are kind of stilted. And I don't understand the big buzz behind it as a result. My ebook said it was 439 pages, and if I'm spending 70 pages in my ebook for chapter 1, I'm gonna have a problem, especially since I felt like we were doing things that required chapter breaks, and I just felt kind of like this was an okay vampire story, and I felt that this was just an okay mystery. Like, wow, it wasn't the brother. Shocker. The grandma was gonna die because the brother was one of the people who they were thinking it was gonna be. Shocker. You know, I just felt like it was really predictable in a lot of plot point elements, and I just kind of wanted to like bust it out. I do hope to do this project again with a different book and maybe actually like film throughout, but sometimes I just want to bust the whole book out and get it done and then just do the end bit. So what about you? Have you read Dead Until Dark? Have you read any Charlene Harris? Have you any books that you would recommend for this project? Let me know in the comments down below. If you like what you saw here today, be sure to like and subscribe. I normally post videos on Wednesdays. Thank you so much for watching, and have a nice day.